Alrighty, welcome back to Let's Play Fall of Cybertron. So, the Combaticons continue to sabotage the Autobots' transport as Starscream is epically failing at doing so. So, Swindle is now successfully boarded, and he's going to get these things' defenses down so we can all attack at once. Which is what should have happened in the first place, but Starscream was too much of an idiot to realize this. So, we're going to go ahead and adjust our setup here. We're going to get the subsonic repeater. And new weapon I haven't demonstrated yet. The reason I'm demonstrating it in this mission is because there's a lot of close quarters. And because this is the, it's one you find randomly until you find the blueprints of it, which I think we've already found the blueprints for it actually at this point in the game, and I'm not entirely sure about that. But this is the first mission that I found it randomly in the first time I played, and it's the Energon Harvester, which is the equivalent of the double-barreled shotgun in this game, and is good, but it's not quite the same. Actually, have I used this before? I'm not sure. But basically it acts like the double-barrel shotgun. It has 2 shots. It's a burst of... It's actually technically 4 shots, but it's a burst of 2, which does create larger margin for error. Kind of like the whole DMR versus battle rifle thing in from going from Halo 3 to Reach. You know, it would be more shots with the battle rifle, but if all the shots connect, it's the same amount of damage. So there's a greater margin for error with missing if you have a single shot. But you know what I mean. But it's nice. It has a cool effect. It has a cool sound effect, and it actually It does exactly what it sounds like it does, and it actually regenerates your health if you get a kill with it at close range, like so. So I think it's pretty good. It doesn't hold a lot of ammo, and there's really not that many opportunities in the game where it's good. But I really like it, especially in multiplayer, from what I've experienced so far. And like I said, this mission has a lot of close quarters, and we almost have no opportunities to successfully utilize our vehicle mode as Swindle, which is one of the downsides of this game. In the previous game, you could pretty much utilize either form at any given time, really. But their design reasons in this game limit that. So, but in the long run, you still have a pretty decent amount of freedom with your transformations. But anyway, now we gotta use the grapple to scale the side of the transport here. And we didn't really get to utilize the grapple at all, really, in the previous mission. There's only like once or twice we actually had to use it as a necessary means of getting around. The way that the quest arrow there is directing us to go is how we progress to the level. But if you go behind you, where I just was down there, you can get up to an area where I think an audio diary is. It might be the only one in this level. I'm not sure. No, that was the last mission that had one. I think this mission has more than one. But there go the Seekers, and I just picked up, or actually no, not the Seekers, Vortex and Blastoff, which are not technically Seekers, I suppose. But I went and picked up the Photon Burst Rifle, because we're going to need it for this encounter, because there's a... Oh, that's really cool. The bodies go flying out into the wind as the transport is moving, because it's flying now, because apparently it can do that, even though it's a huge waste of energon, clearly. It at least is saving... what's left of the energon from certain destruction. But yeah, you go fall down there. There will be some shotgunners in this encounter, which is the main reason why I wanted a long-range weapon like the Photon Burst Rifle. So this encounter is sort of non-linear. There's just kind of guys all around you, and I'm going to try to use my rockets here, which is actually working out pretty well. It's sort of a non-linear encounter where you have guys on all sides of you, and you're focusing on the center of the area, which is your objective. We're going to come down here and operate this lever, which is going to reveal the what do you call it? The ammo belts for the cannons up there. They're basically giant freaking missiles, but they're explosive shells, so we can detonate them by shooting them. And hopefully that'll cause a chain reaction of the cannon. Now the cannon has 2 barrels, so we can only open up one at a time, and then we gotta blow up both sides of it though. And then each time we do so, there'll be shotgunners that come out, which is really annoying. I think they also come out from both sides, so you can't really just like blow one up and quickly go to the other side to dodge the guy you're already fighting, and then blow up the other one, because they'll come out on both sides. But I think. Well, actually, that doesn't look like the shotgunner in that encounter, but more guys came nonetheless, so I gotta kill him right away and then go get over here. Well, that sucked. That I thought I was nowhere near covered from that grenade. But yeah, I don't know if I mentioned it or not, but I'm pretty sure I did mention it, actually, because this was a couple of videos ago. But in the between the last Autobot mission and the first mission of this Combaticon arc here, when we played as Vortex, I purchased the final upgrade at Teletran 1, which doubled my health up to 200. So now we have a ridiculous amount of health. We are virtually impossible to kill. So that's why I was able to withstand that grenade there. So I don't know if I'm pretty sure I mentioned that before. I'll have to go back and double check. But either way, it's a pretty broken ability. But obviously I didn't want to get it. The ability you want to get first is one that decreases the cost of all the other upgrades, because if you get that last, it's completely superfluous. So man, now I have every single upgrade at Teletran 1, and I only all those upgrades would be totally broken on any other difficulty, but since we're playing on hard, I can kind of justify them. But even then, I would still like to do a run on hard with completely vanilla characters with no upgrades, and in addition to the no upgrades to the weapons either, and make it more like the first game. But you know, that's something to do. But I just didn't have the time to test play this game thoroughly enough and make sure I could pick up all the collectibles along the way and all the unlocks. But I think this LP is going well enough alone on itself, the way it is. Right there, we actually had to use our alt mode for a change to dodge those flames. And right here, we can actually, depending on the angle we're going at, we actually fly underneath those flames, even if they're deployed, if we are far enough forward on the platform. Let's see, there's another cannon on this side of the ship that we gotta blow up, but we're not gonna blow up in the same conventional way as the last time, because we simply just don't have the time to. There's other guys in this encounter, including more shotgunners, so we're gonna whip out our energon harvester and out-shotgun them with their own shotguns. Yay! But yeah, there's quite a few more guys this time around, so we don't really have the time to dilly-dally around, especially with how many of our air support is getting shot down by this thing. So we're just gonna Leroy it and go jump up there with our grappling hook and see what we can do. I'm going to clear myself a path first. But since I have ludicrous amounts of health, even though my health is more than halfway gone, I still have 81. Alright, I'm getting out of here. You know what? I'm going to grapple onto the dropship and use the turret on it. Alright, let's just do this the old-fashioned way. Let's just have turret versus turret combat here. And out-turret them with our turrets. But it takes a little while for their turret to arc from one angle to the next, so you can kind of swing yourself over to get yourself out of the way, but sometimes you still get caught in the crossfire from switching over on the barrel that's on your side. But it seems to be going down pretty quickly. I'm not actually sure what happens if your dropship gets destroyed. I think you just die, but it clearly has an independent health from your own, so. I wonder how we're telling the driver of this thing to actually do that. Oh, it's Onslaught, okay. He just must know. You heard the man, let's do it! Ladies and gentlemen, the Decepticon star player is in the game. Alrighty, now we're playing as Bruticus, the Decepticon Assault, and or the Combaticons Assault rather. And now we can go and ruffle stomp everybody, and it's tremendously awesome. And we're just stupidly overpowered. The very first thing I did there was I used his, as it's called, Sonic Pain Wave attack or whatever, and it's pretty powerful. It's his ability essentially, and it has a recharge rate, so we can't use it immediately right off the bat. But it's his most powerful attack. He also has a ridiculous melee combo. He has a flamethrower, and he has a shield in the form of Vortex's helicopter blades, which you can also coincidentally use as a weapon. Also, like I said, you can just ruffle stomp things. And you can, when you use your melee when the shield is out, you use a shield bash attack, so that's also really nice. Use all those things in combination and you're pretty well set. He also has an obscene amount of health, like 1200, 1300, something like that. So yeah, he's pretty much invincible. You can still die, but I've never actually done it. There you go. He has a ridiculous melee range as well. The flamethrower is honestly not that great. I'll still use it because it does have a fair bit of range to it. But, yeah, see how long it took me to kill that one guy with it? But, yeah, we're just going to utterly desecrate this this thing now. Now they have no more air defenses, we have no giant turrets that can actually harm us, so everything else is purely amusement to us. But as I said, Bruticus is pretty awesome. Reminds me of the episode of Generation 1 that he's in, where Starscream resurrects the Combaticons, and they go have a fight with, what's his name? Devastator. And Starscream actually damn nearly beats Megatron, which is pretty awesome. But, yeah, we gotta melee through these bridges here, and we have a pretty linear path through here. We can't really take any kind of liege in the way the game is directing us to go. That'd be another good time to use the Pain Wave attack, because not only do we kill all the enemies in front of us, but we expose the fan, the giant fan, that we will out-fan it with our fan of death, that is Vortex's propellers, because he's an awesome helicopter like that. I'm just not even phased by the amount of damage I'm taking. It just doesn't even bother me at all. Okay, so we have all these random shields here. We're going to wait for all those to plop down, and then we're going to early annihilate everything, because that's what we do. And then there's some, actually is some turrets over here, and we can actually utilize these shields to defend ourselves from them until we're close enough to actually ruffle stomp them as well. Puny shotgunners. Mwahaha. But honestly, the only thing that, I mean, I like the way Bruticus was done in this game. It was very, very fun, and he does feel as powerful as a Jassault should. And it's a nice touch from as a Generation 1 reference, but all it made me want to see was the aerial bots combined. It just made me want to see, because almost all the aerial bot characters are in the game already, so it's like, or at least, you know, 2 of them are, so it would help to introduce the others and just, you know, have, I guess, Superion is the aerial bot combiner? Yes, I don't know. And that might just be the most badass thing ever.
The mission is lost. Who are you to defy me? I've heard enough of his orders.
Uh-oh, looks like we ruffle stomped this thing a little too hard. Tried to save ourselves from Starscream's mess, and we dug ourselves into a deeper one. There are no soft landings on Cybertron, apparently. But we're okay. How did you get here so fast?
Failure to obey my orders. You and your Combaticons destroyed half of the energon supply in that crash.
Are you kidding, Starscream? The Autobots would have taken it all. My team salvaged an operation that you screwed up from the get-go.
No one addresses the leader of the Decepticons in such a manner. Arrest them!